this lesson, let's look at how you can use the call method to borrow a method from another object. So let's look at an example together of how you can use the call method to borrow a method from another object. So let's dive in. I don't have anything inside my HTML other than this paragraph. It's an ID of demo1. Then inside this script tag, the first thing I need to do is, since I want to work with a call object, then I need an object to work with. So I will go ahead and make a person's object. And inside that object, then since I have this person's object, I can give this person a full name and assign a function to it. And inside it, I just want to return this dot first name plus space plus this dot last name. So what I'm basically doing here is that this keyword here is referring to this object itself. It's referring to the person's object that I have here. That is what this keyword is referring to. Now that I have this first person object, then I can go under it and make another object. This time, I will call it person1 object. Now, post person1, first name, John and Joe. So, oh, sorry. This should be outside, not inside the first object. So I have this person1 object. Then I also want to create a person2 objects. So I have the first name and last name set up for it. Now I have three objects here: person, person1, and person2. And what we are trying to learn is how we can use the call method to borrow a method from another object. Now, let's look at how that can be done in the next step. So, I want to make a variable, and that variable, I want to borrow a method from another object and use it on another object. So, let's go ahead. So let me call the object name. Since what you have here is referring to name, first name and last name. So I want to call this object, which is person. Now, inside this person object, I have a function that is assigned to a full name. Then I will pull that function name, which is full name, which holds the function to return the first name and last name. Dot call. Now I want to call this function now on another object because it has been said earlier that you can use a call method to borrow a method from another object. So I want to borrow another object and pass it into this call method. So I can borrow the third object, which has a name of person2. Now if I output this on the screen, let's see what will happen. Now you can see Mary Jane. Now this is the object that holds the value, as you can see, but then by passing it here, I was able to use this first name and last name to extract the first name and last name of this person object. So this is how you can borrow a method from another object. You can change this to 1. If you have multiple objects, it will still work. So if you change this to 1, you can see it is speaking the first name and last name of the person1 object. So we just saw how you can use the call method to borrow a method from another object. Now let's look at a scenario or in cases where you have arguments. How do you undo it? The call method. So let's take a look at an example that demonstrates this. So I'm ready my script tag. Since I don't have anything to add to the HTML, And so I will just follow the same process like the first example. But this time I'm just going to add some few things to it. So a person object, now full name, then I can give it a function, and then it will take an argument of city and country. And inside it, I can return this dot first name plus space plus this dot last name plus space city plus country. Now, just take note of something that when I'm trying to add the parameters with are the arguments, I did not include the this key to them. And you can see that they are totally different from the first name and the last name, which means that these are just arguments that I can pass in when I'm making a call, when I'm making a call to the method. So now I can go down under this and make a first person object, create a person one object. So const person one, then create a person two objects, person two. So I have these three objects now. Now I can now output my call method with passed in parameters, get elements by id, demo1.inner html. So I can just pass in person dot full name and then use call method to call any objects. So I want to call object 2 here, as you can see. Then I now want to pass in the argument. I want to pass it in here. Also, I think it's in Norway and Norway. So in order to satisfy the condition, this place is comma, not full stop. And now you can see James Smith, Oslo and Norway. So the Oslo and Norway represent the city and country, which are passed as arguments to my function. And here I can call any person's object and it will work as long as I have this keyword that is referring to the function itself. So with this keyword and then the method call, which is this call method, I can simply just borrow a method from another object and use it with the call method, and it will give me the right and correct output that I expect. So here are some key takeaways. Number one, call method does not return a reusable function. Number two, call method requires arguments to be listed one by one. So this is a keyword in JavaScript. Always knows what this refers to.